Alrighty, we are live. Welcome back to another stream. Let me know in the chat if you are watching this thing live, or give me a hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. Really big week coming up if you don't know. We got Bitcoin halving happening in 8 days, and this is going to be one of those videos you might want to watch a couple times. I really want to speak on the inflation numbers that we just saw as we go into really like the Super Bowl, they call it, of crypto. For those that are watching this, my name is Mike Sotero. I've been in crypto for the past 7.5 years. We've taught over 250,000 people all around the world, and on this channel, we just have some fun. We talk about mindset, expectations, really how to build businesses as well. How to grow overall as a person, and how to grow into an investor or grow into a trader. And we cover a bunch of different things. Some of the hot topics in the markets we'll cover. So let me know in the chat if you're watching this live or replay. Feel free to send this out to a friend or the replay. Now, in 8 days from now, Bitcoin's rewards are going to get cut in half. We can see what has taken place, and I have other videos on my channel where I speak about this, but we can see what happens post-halving. This is the first halving that we've seen a new all-time high, though, before before the halving. So we saw Bitcoin create a brand new all-time high. Price is trading right now at $70,000. Let me know in the chat if you think we're going to be above or below $100,000 on this next run. Let me know. Now, what I want to focus on is what we just saw Mr. Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve do a couple days ago. So I'm on a free website here called forexfactory.com. You can see these numbers on investing.com as well. And what we had take place on Wednesday was CPI. Now, before we get into the numbers, this is what consumer price index is. It's a measure of the average change over time in the prices paid by urban consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. So what this is saying is the price of things that's in a specific basket of categories going up or going down. Let me know in the chat if let me know in the chat if you have experienced the prices of things going up or down where you live. It's actually a really good website here called trueflation.com. Highly recommend saving this. Yes, I'm a human. Trueflation.com, where you could actually see. Let's go in here to oh, they're launching a token. Who's not launching a token these days? Oh, they got some updates here. Okay. But when you come in here, this is probably the real number that inflation is we're seeing right now. They're telling us that it's 3.5%, and I'm going to explain why these numbers are important and how to read this data in a second. But in reality, this is the real inflation numbers that we've actually seen when you take out the BS over the past, let's just go the past 1 year. This makes a lot more sense. But the media and the world is going to tell you that we have not been in a recession, when in reality, we were in a recession the past 2 years. So very interesting. Now, let's talk about how to read this data. So before a CPI release, with news events, with fundamentals, right? In trading, you have, let's just write this out here. You have, and as an investor or a trader, you need to know this. There's, really two types of analysis. Okay, it does not want to work. You have fundamentals. And then you have technicals. Now, technicals is this word is thrown out a lot. If you go on YouTube, you're going to see, a ton of different ways to trade. Now, there's no right or there's no wrong way, but I believe technicals, how we look at the market, the psychology of understanding smart money, what is it, is even more important than actually what you draw on the charts. And then fundamentals is like the news. So fundamentals is like news events, Sometimes the news events are planned for, like CPI, and some of it is random. Okay, and then you have technicals, which are how we read or how we view the charts, what we're looking for. So you got to know the difference. Now, this is where we spend 90% of our time. These events just push the price and usually make our analysis happen a little bit faster. So when we look at, let's say this today was Tuesday, CPI was tomorrow. Previous inflation was at 3.2%. So this was from the month of March. They were forecasting 3.4%. Let me know in the chat if you see that. So to go from 3.2 to 3.4. So they were expecting an increase already. If we would have seen, for example, on Wednesday, a 3.4 or below, we would have seen the DXY or the dollar drop. Now, what does that mean for other assets like overall stock market, overall crypto markets, right? There, we would have most likely seen a bullish push right away on the release of that news because we would have been around what they were expecting. So if this would have came out to be 3.3 or 3.2, better than expected, amazing. But it was actually 3.5, so it was actually worse than expected. So what happened? You had the dollar actually make a huge push up right off that news. Okay, so anything if you were trading like Forex, for example, USD CAD, USD JPY, anything compared to the dollar would have been gone down in value because the dollar gained a lot of strength. So hopefully now you understand how to read this. You know, next month in April and May, right? Actual will be 3.5. So next month, this will say 3.5. They will give a forecasted percentage of what they expect. Maybe it's 3.7, for example. And if it goes down under that forecast, we should see the dollar flip bearish. Now, overall, I'm personally looking for the dollar. Well, this is going to be a key level here. If the dollar breaks this level, then it's game on. But this is also a myth sometimes that the dollar and, for example, Bitcoin, they can both go up and they can both go down. So don't get too concerned. My phone is blowing up. Don't get too concerned. Don't get too concerned on like current price, right? You look at something like that could play out, and this can just send crypto running. So also you look at something like Bitcoin. With that news, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. If you guys have been following my channel for some time here, we've been dropping some videos here and there. All my students and clients, they personally know what entries and what positions I'm taking. For example, like the Solana idea that we called out. We're actually right now floating in profit on this idea, about almost 4% spot, but about 500 pips. Actually was about eight. It was actually in profit about 800 points. And we're actually looking for a Solana swing here. So we already reduced our risk, and we're actually already looking for this bigger move to the upside. We know Solana's networks had some issues, and a lot of Solana ecosystem projects right now, they're just not able to like really get a lot of the attention and volume due to failed transactions, right? Put a 1 if you have Solana in your portfolio. Would really curious about that in the chat, okay? Now, talking about Solana, we look at, according to CryptoRank.io, in Q1 of 2024, take a look at this. Take a look at this. 2.4 billion transactions compared to Tron, which is like, you know, one of the biggest scam blockchains out there, but I guess for some reason people love to do it. 446 million. Near Protocol, 400 million transactions. BNB number 4 at 382 million. Psy Protocol, 366. Polygon 363 Injective 145 million. Sui 140 million. Sui is an interesting project. We'll talk about it on a future video. ZK Sync Era 120, and then Ethereum at 109 million. Does anybody see the trend here? Does anybody see the issue, or so far the first quarter of this year, what is dominating? All of the blockchains that you don't have to pay your kidneys or kids to get to move some money around. Like Solana's cheaper, Tron's cheaper. Solana is down right now. Like it's not fully operational. Network is failing some transactions, a lot of transactions. They just did a vote. Okay, this is the power of decentralization to an extent. They did a vote to basically speed up the network. You have a new upgrade on Solana coming called Fire Dancer, which they're claiming that it can scale to 1 million transactions per second. It is in crypto, when there are upgrades to networks, what happens is these coins. Let me draw something here for you. If anything wants to load. Yeah, when coins do upgrades or blockchains do upgrades, they have what we call test nets. Okay, so like in Ethereum, like if we just Google ETH test networks, there's all these different test networks. Here's the list right here. So you have like Garoli, Sepolia, Rinkeby, Beacon Chain. So I don't know if it's in this exact order, but you have these test networks that pressure proof essentially the upgrade. So until it goes through these test networks, it doesn't happen on the main net. So these are the 4 test networks on ETH. If you go to BNB, they have some test networks. It's just how it is, right? So let's actually just Google this. I don't know the name of it. Solana test nets. Forgot the name. It's too many names. Alchemy. This might be it. Alchemy here. DevNet. Let's see. There's a list here. One second. Here you go. So before a blockchain does a really big upgrade, they do. Okay, so they just call it DevNet, testnet, mainnet. Okay, very simple. So if the servers don't work here, they don't go here. And if they don't work here, they don't go to the mainnet. Okay, it's that simple. So Solana is one network away. So Solana is in the test network right now for Fire Dancer, which potentially could allow up to 1 million transactions a second for Sol. So keep that in mind when you're making decisions. And I'm going to answer some questions. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can drop a question in the chat. And even if you're watching the replay, I try to go back and answer questions that I miss. Okay, so feel free to go in there. Now, while we're just kind of on that same conversation, I'm going to give you guys the link here in the chat. This is Dune Analytics. Okay, if you don't know, I'm going to copy this real quick. But if you go to dune.com, a lot of this is like on-chain data. And this is what you can't see in like the stock market, for example. So if you wanted to look at like OpenSea or OpenSea volume, let's just use Uniswap as an example. Since they're being attacked right now, Uniswap V1 fees. Okay, I could actually see the fees. Okay, cumulative Uniswap fees. So I can actually see more and more every month. People are, this might be in millions. Actually, I don't like that one. Let's go to Uniswap. They might even have some set up with their team. So you can see here like monthly protocol volume. Let's look at this for L2s on Twitter. And basically this is just all on-chain data. And sometimes the teams do it. Sometimes people like program it themselves. So very interesting. Anyways, let's go back to this one. This is what I don't want to lose focus here. What's up, Alex? What's up, Neil? Sean, good to see you. What's up, Ross? Good to see you guys. So this is Dune Analytics, and this is for potentially a lot of these dApps could be on the new Solana phone. So this is something I'm watching. I've been spending a lot of time here doing a lot of research on a lot of these projects like Soul Chat. Soul Mail, Soul Stream. Do your own research on all of these. And I'm not telling you that I have all of these in my portfolio at all. I have a couple. I am betting, right? That's what we're doing. I am betting that Solana does figure it out. I am betting that they do get into the position where people ask the question, why should I even build on ETH? And then projects like Neon will move money from ETH to Solana, and Solidity and Rust can now talk to each other because of all of these different EVMs. So it's going to work out. Sol and ETH are both gonna thrive. We don't like that's the issue. People are like very tribal in crypto. We don't just want ETH to win and Solana to lose. We want both of them to win. So when you look at like Soul Chat here, all of these guys are so small in market caps, extremely risky. All of these actually could go to zero, but it just takes time. Like we live in such a crazy ass world where people think they're going to buy something and then it's just going to go up. Like I don't know what world you're living in, but investing takes time. Like, I heard somebody say like you're not even an investor. You are not an investor unless in crypto, for example, right? Kind of compressing time. You're not an investor unless you're willing to wait at least 4 years. And you know why? 4 years? Because there's something called a halving. Shit, what a crazy concept. You know that concept? It's actually about to be a reality again in 8 days. So like you even thinking about selling in your portfolio, good luck. Do what you want. It's up to you. But you're really not an investor in this space. Now, should you take profits? Should you have a game plan? I have other videos on my channel where I give you 5 things to avoid doing in this bull market. It's pinned on my YouTube, so make sure you guys watch that video. Put a 4 in the chat though if you're willing to wait 4 years from now. Like some of these projects, even for example, I have some of these in my portfolio, and some of them are micro caps right now. Let me just remind everybody real quick. I mean, let me just remind you guys real fast. Hold on. It's the only reason I use this website. I hate it because it's owned by Binance, but let me just take you back in time here. I got into crypto first quarter of 2017. I mean, let's even see if any of these damn things were even existed. I mean, wow, this is crazy. So like iExec, here you go. Great example. This is a project that I have in my portfolio right now. Oh shit, it went to the current price. Hold on. Okay, so like iExec, for example, great project, partnered with Intel, big AI coin. This project existed, but what a scam. How many of y'all remember BitConnect? Anyways, iExec, this had a market cap of $50 million. This is a great example. $50 million in 2017. I did not know what the project was back then. At 2017, they partnered with Intel in 2018 or 2019. And this is an AI coin, right? This is actually one of the first projects. They've been around probably the longest. And nobody's even talking about RLC. Okay, all my students got this at $1. It's at $3 right now. The point is it was at 50 million in 2017. What happened? Let's take a look. Watch this. This is a great example. Make sure you're paying attention and smash that like button for me. If you're watching this live, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Let's take a look at RLC today. It's still around, so that's great. Whatever. But I want to see what it did. I want to see what it did 4 years later. Okay, take a look at this. So 2017, it was at a $50 million market cap right here. We were just looking at that. Guys, it went from 50 million to almost $1 billion in market cap. So somebody tell me, I'm not good at math. I dropped out of college, but 50 million to 100 and then 100 to 8. It did a 20x. And you could have accidentally bought this in 2017, and 4 years later, you would have 20x your money, even if you put in $1,000. Is everybody understanding that? In a full-on, blow off the top bull market, which I don't think we've experienced yet. I don't think we've experienced euphoria or greed yet, like extreme levels, because altcoins haven't run yet. So until that happens, I'm still I'm playing defense. I'm taking profits in certain projects, but really there's still signs that I'm looking for, like market caps of multiple TV, market cap one, two, and three to really go higher. So this is a great example. Let me know in the chat if that made sense. Okay. This is an example of a project that, I mean, was here in 2017, but people didn't even really people still don't know what it is because they live under a rock. But some people don't even know what Bitcoin is still. You guys know that, right? Most people don't have Bitcoin. Most people don't have ETH. Most people don't have XRP. Like we're early, early, early. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel so you're not going to be late on getting out of these markets. Because you know how many people are about to buy more crypto and not sell? Oh, shit. I'm debating if I even want to do this. But I'm debating even doing some YouTubes in the next couple of months of when I'm going to like literally exit completely the markets. I'm debating. I don't know if I want to do it because people take shit the wrong way. But here's what you got to understand. Like right now, all of the money, even though Bitcoin has gone up in price, it's at 70,000. Okay. Have we really seen phase three and phase four happen? Let me know in the chat. Have we seen phase three and phase four happen? Ethereum hasn't even broken its all-time high. Now you can say that the gas fees is like an issue, but like money is still going to go to Ethereum, right? And Ethereum is not outperforming Bitcoin right now. Ethereum is not like the comparison of Bitcoin to ETH, that chart's going down. So the dominance of Bitcoin is still there. When that decreases, ETH should go to 4 or 5K. But really, it's like phase overlap. Regardless of market cap, some altcoins with strong fundamentals are having pumps. I don't think we've seen that yet. We've seen some AI news, we've seen some DeFi news, we've seen the Solana ecosystem start to get some, but like I don't think people are making really any money. And I think they're going to see money in their portfolio and they're going to think it's going to continue to go up forever. Because that's what happened to me in 2017. They think it's going to go up forever. So just take a picture of this, be aware of this, and make sure you understand where you're at in the market. Okay, just know where we're at in the market. So last couple things here. If there's some questions, I'll answer in the chat. Other than that, pretty much we're gonna wrap this thing up here. So iExec's a great example. If you bought it and you held it for 4 years, you got rewarded. You're not an investor unless you're willing to hold this stuff for 4 years. And I can ask you, people love to have a entry plan. They love to just throw money in the market, but what's your exit plan? Right? Have you even sat down and like asked yourself, what is my exit plan? And I talk about this in my pinned video on my YouTube. I'm not going to break it down here, but make sure you're not going and shopping with unrealized profits. I break it down in the video. People will look at their portfolio and be like, oh, I have 50K here. Well, that car is 45. Let me buy the car. Car payment's 1,000 a month. Cars are expensive these days. You guys know that, right? New and used cars to lease and to buy are not what they used to be. I bought my car in 2020. Well, I actually leased my car, got in at it, right before COVID, super low rate. And then when my lease ended, instead of me getting a brand new car, it's a stupid waste of money. Okay. I just bought out the car and paid it off. And you know what I'm saying? So like, don't get trapped in like owing people money. Like it's so easy to just like, I got 18 credit cards. Like you guys want to laugh at something? I set up a new business account and stuff, and I have Amex, and I went to order a card for that new LLC, and I ordered a card. I ordered a card to a different LLC, but you know what's funny is they approved me because I don't carry over balances, and I think there's a lesson in that. you shouldn't have a credit card unless you're disciplined and able to pay it off monthly. Don't get into debt trying to look really, really rich. Don't get into debt. Trust me, I did that. Did that shit in 2014. If you can't pay off your car, then don't worry about points or cash back. It's not worth it. Like you're really just going to put a lot of unneeded stress in your life when you do stuff like that. So you have an entry plan. What's your exit plan? Okay, you have an exit plan. Well, I'm not talking about it here. Maybe I'll record something in the studio for this. But then, okay, well, shit. What's your reallocation plan? Because I don't want to. I don't. This is what will happen. People will make a ton of money in the bull market. You know what their reallocation plan is? New house, new car, new wife. Just kidding. I'm completely just kidding there. I'm completely kidding. New house, new car, new toys. They get like a test. They get like a roadster. What's it called? A T-Rex. They've seen it in Miami Beach, and they get a T-Rex because it's 3 wheels and it looks cool. And you know what happens? Expenses go up. Portfolio starts to go down because you just spent all the damn money. And now you're back at zero. Watch this take place for so many people, guys. I saw it, experienced it a little bit, right? But remember, wisdom has no age. You can be 20 and wise, or you can be 90 and wise, or you can be 90 with no wisdom, and you could be 20 with all the wisdom in the world. Okay, remember that. A couple good decisions. Like this market, you have the ability to do great things. You have the ability, but you could also lose it all. So you got to play both sides. Hope you have a great day. Make sure you guys hit that like button once again, and maybe share this with a friend that might need to hear what we talked about here today.